I think we should go get a drink.
Stop doing that.
Hey guys, we are downtown Eau Claire. Today we're gonna be talking about spooky haunted Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Woo. We're gonna be talking about everything from the Tuberculosis Sanatorium of the early 1900s, all the way to the burial grave site of hundreds of rotting dead horses in a park that people enjoy picnics in today. You probably didn't know about a couple of those interesting facts. Should we go check it out? Most people think about Eau Claire as a quaint little college town in northern Wisconsin. But what many people don't realize is that there's 150 years worth of tragedy and unexplained mystery that dates back 150 years. From the mid-1800s to modern day, Eau Claire has more ghost stories per capita than almost any city in the state of Wisconsin. Tonight, I'm gonna take you to several locations. I have to warn you though, these stories are so well documented and so real that they may make you look at Eau Claire differently forever. Here we start in University Park, where sometimes people hear hooves of horses. All right guys, imagine it's the 1800s and your main transportation is horse and carriage. What did you do when your horse died? Right where I'm standing here in University Park, right next to the old Eau Claire High School, is exactly the burial site of hundreds of dead horses from the 1800s. Very creepy to think about. Legend has it, if you come out here at the right time during the night, you can hear the horse hooves clacking down the road. All right guys, now we're standing outside of potentially the most haunted location in the city of Eau Claire. This is now known as the Stone's Throw. Originally built in 1893, its first tenant was actually a bank, and it's been many different things throughout the years. In the late 1800s, it is believed that a man took his own life in this building. And then in the early 1900s, somebody was actually murdered here and they were dragged into the basement. Legend has it now that somebody still haunts this building, flipping lights on and off. And sometimes you can even see a figure in the back of the bar in the mirror. Pretty creepy. This place is now an event center where they host periodic festival events. Doesn't really necessarily have any set schedule or hours. You just got to check the Facebook page for when events are happening here, if you guys want to check it out for yourself. All right, guys, in the early 1900s, when this was originally a railroad track for the Sioux Line Railroad, 1910, a man named John Murphy was actually constructing this bridge. He fell off the bridge right here, crashing down onto some timbers down below, dying immediately. Now, whenever people take pictures and there's an orb, they say it's old John Murphy showing up. This is a very commonly picture-taken location in Eau Claire. As you can tell why, it's very beautiful. Maybe you guys should stop on down here and take some pictures. See for yourself if an orb pops up. This is the infamous Banbury Place. Another very, very well-known haunted location in the Eau Claire area. I think we found ourselves a ghost right here.
That's me.
Beautiful out here tonight. Well, it does have it that there's another location right into those woods there. I'm gonna walk over there in a little bit here and show you guys an old cave. Nobody really knows why it's there, but it's handmade, and a lot of people lived in that cave over the years. Let's go check it out. All right, Justin, you ready to go check out the cave?
Yes, I am.
Let's go! Let's go! Are we gonna be haunted after this? Oh no. Guys, check this out. We're on the way walking to the cave right now. And here's some old house foundations, or maybe it's an old business. Very cool. There's some stuff going on out here back in the day, a little over 100 years ago. People started coming here to Eau Claire and around the 1850s, started logging this area. And in the late 1800s, there was a lumber boom. People flocked to the area, and Eau Claire was actually the second largest city in the state of Wisconsin at one point in time. Now it's the 7th. It's about to be the 6th. It is growing very quickly, and Eau Claire is actually the second fastest growing city in the state of Wisconsin now. Definitely watch the rest of my videos to find out why Eau Claire is growing so fast. It's pretty obvious. It's a great location here. But let's go check out this cave next. Let me in! Let me in! Hey. That could have been bad, guys. Look at this. We're trained professionals around here. Go try this at home. I think it's the only cave that I know of in Eau Claire. It's a bunch of rebar here, so nobody can move in permanently. Up until last year, I used to come in here all the time. It's not very far from my office downtown, so I'd come here, check it out. Kind of a cool little spot to look. We're out right on a trail right along the Eau Claire River here. And apparently there's some crazy story of this lady moving in the early 1900s here. And apparently she actually decorated it with rugs, furniture, like chairs, tables, and everything. Like she made this her little house. Allegedly, she got sent to an institution at some point in time because they thought she was crazy. If you're living in here, maybe you were crazy, but who knows? Maybe she had life figured out. Yeah, they actually have this barred up nowadays to reduce the amount of drugs or any other issues that come along with having a dark hole. That's probably like, I'd say about 11 feet tall total. I'd say it is about 40, 50 feet deep. And I would say maybe 15 feet wide. So it's a pretty substantial size. Not entirely sure what it was used for originally. I'm guessing it was used to keep produce cool back in the late 1800s, early 1900s, when refrigeration wasn't really a thing. Even though it's September, October time right now, fall time, it's kind of hot and muggy out right now, but I stick my hand in here and it's a lot cooler even from here to here. In the early ages, people use just earth as a good refrigerant. But don't worry, if I were you, I probably wouldn't resort to this cave as a home. The good thing is I'm a realtor in Eau Claire. If you watch my channel, you probably already know that. But just a reminder on that, please don't live in this cage. If you are looking to buy something, make sure you guys contact me. I'm right downtown Eau Claire. I have this channel. You guys can tell just by listening to me talk about Eau Claire how much I actually love Eau Claire. If you guys are finding these videos helpful and you are thinking about moving to Eau Claire, Wisconsin, make sure you guys message me. My phone number is in the info down here, or just look me up online, Dan Realty Group on Google, and send me a message. This is actually really cool. There used to be a textile mill down here of some sort. I wonder if that's what this is. All right, guys, we just checked out the cave. We're gonna wait till a little bit later to go check out the Banbury Place because it's so big. Either way, it's super spooky. We're gonna wait till it gets a little bit darker out. The sun I can't actually see the sun now, so it's just a matter of time. All right, my girlfriend Emily made an appearance out here. She decided she wanted to help out for once. Let's say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Emily, so you have actually had a creepy, spooky encounter yourself. Oh my gosh, where are you coming? Don't get ran over. You actually visited Caryville, which is like one of the most haunted spots in the state of Wisconsin. It's about, what, 20 minutes outside of Eau Claire?
Give or take, yeah.
Yeah, so to preface this, you were 16 when you were doing this, when you were...
It's out there. I was 16. You're not supposed to go out there.
It's trespassing, technically.
Don't go out there. Anyway,
It's her fault.
16, went out there with some friends at night, went around midnight, and my friends and I heard children laughing in a cornfield. I don't remember the exact directions or what it was, but the cemetery in Caryville, we heard kids laughing in the cornfield and hellhounds growling. That's what they say. That's the myth, or what people say it.
But it's not a myth. Yeah, it happened to you.
But it really happened, yeah.
It really happened to you. It's technically trespassing if you go out there now, right? So we're not recommending anybody go out to Caryville, but if you just Google Caryville and Wisconsin hauntings, there's a lot of stuff online about it. What is it? Like there's a bunch of kids' graves out there? That's why you heard kids?
A bunch of kids' graves, family graves. I don't know the history behind it, but one gravestone said baby. So
that's creepy.
There is children buried there. That's why they don't want people out there for respect of the people that have passed away. But if you go out there,
don't go out there.
Go out there. But
don't do what Emily did.
Some interesting
paranormal activity. Well, thanks for sharing.
You're welcome. Anytime.
YouTube day to you. All right, guys, next we're actually gonna go check out a house that I personally almost rented from back in 2012 when I graduated. I moved to Eau Claire to go to college. I actually got a showing request from the property management company to view this house, and come to find out years later, there was a murder there about 6 years after I was there. All right, guys, we're outside of the house that originally I toured myself back when I was looking for a place to rent, where Ezra McCandless had lived at the time. This case actually made it national TV news and on TV courts on CBS. Emily, let's hear the story.
In 2018, Ezra McCandless went to her boyfriend's house, Alex Woodworth. This is where he was renting. She stabbed him 16 times. She got caught because she was acting irritated and agitated. She drove to a neighbor's nearby home.
To a farm, right?
To a farm home. She was bloody. She got stuck in the mud, and that's where they found Alex's body in the backseat.
So she was found at a farmhouse, like outside of town a few miles, and there his body was dead, stabbed 16 times.
In the back of her car.
In the back of her car. And this is the house where he resided?
Yeah, this is where he rented from.
I could have been roommates with this guy. Glad I wasn't, man. That'd be crazy. But here we are, right downtown Eau Claire. Kind of a cool story, though. All right, what should we go check out now, guys?
The tombs, because there was a story about someone that was murdered near the tombs, and then the family donated that.
It's getting darker. That was really creepy, and I don't think you were even trying to. All right, guys. Now we are in Lakeview Cemetery. We are at the chapel. If you guys want to do something really cool in Eau Claire, when you come visit here, there's something called the Haunted Eau Claire Trolley Tours. They will actually give you a inside tour of this chapel. It's a very, very cool thing. I definitely recommend you doing it. They bring you around Eau Claire at night, and they'll show you all the haunted locations. Some of the locations that we've actually walked through today, and we're going to continue to walk you through, are on that tour. It's about an hour and a half long, and you actually get to walk inside of this and learn more about what this chapel is. This was built a long time ago by a wealthy widow, and it was originally used as a morgue and funeral home. It's actually stored caskets during the wintertime. There's 42 tomb slots to slide your casket in there for storage during the winter. You won't be able to dig in the early 1900s when this was built, so they actually just stored the caskets until springtime when they could do the proper burial. So very cool building. I was able to go inside of it, and the basement part there's actually a trap door that lowers the caskets down to the basement, and then you slide it in a tomb cellar, a little slot for the casket. Very cool. Definitely a cool building to come check out. It was built in 1936. Fanny gave it to Hoover. Hoover gave it to Fanny. Fanny gave it to Buffington. Hoover gave it to James. Stephen gave it to Hoover. Hoover gave it to Elizabeth. Hoover gave it to Borland, who gave it to their daughter, Fanny. Buffington, whose middle name was Hoover, in 1936.
So the thing is, there's no footage of somebody like killing these college students. They would start on Water Street, get drunk, walk by the river, but then they're called the Smiley Face Killer because they'd find smiley faces spray painted.
So that actually happened here in Eau Claire. That is crazy. So that's actually where we're at right here. The geographic significance of that is Water Street is right next to the water, the Chippewa River. The Chippewa River is a very common place for people to end up when they are drunk somehow. That causes a lot of deaths. There's been many deaths over the years. People going for a swim and jumping in just to be funny, or tripping or falling in there, or possibly even getting pushed in there. So that's the Smiley Face Killer. Read about it in magazines or what newspapers. It's all over the news. Let's go check out the next spot, guys. All right, guys, we are standing outside of a very creepy building in Shawtown, a neighborhood in Eau Claire. This is the neighborhood known as the working class citizens of the early 1900s. Behind me is the Tuberculosis Sanatorium, built in the early 1900s during the tuberculosis epidemic. This was a really scary time. Tuberculosis actually had 4 times the death rate of COVID. In 1911, 140 people actually died right here in Eau Claire. This building was actually constructed in 1913 and opened in order to house all the dying and sick people with tuberculosis, until eventually when that epidemic ended, it was just used as a general nursing home. In 2017, just a few years ago, it actually officially shut down, and now it looks the way it does now, abandoned, empty, and very creepy. There's many cases of haunting activity in this place. Many times people will actually hear somebody whispering, Julianne. Very creepy. The other thing is people hear or see figures. A few years ago, there was some people trespassing inside the building. So a cop came out here with their gun drawn and they were pointed at a figure, and it was actually just a ghost that they were encountering. Very creepy. I wish I could go in there right now and take you guys in there. It's actually a construction site right now. A development company based out of Chicago is actually putting apartments in here. That is going to be very interesting to be living there for whoever ends up leasing this place. I think we should have Emily come over here, give her encounter of this place, since she's the naughty one who likes to trespass so many times.
So I have a friend who illegally trespassed, took some items, some jewelry, a jar of tea, took it home to her house, and she lives alone, would hear things, woke up in the morning and saw these black fingerprints on her wall. She brought the teeth and the jewelry back and didn't have an issue.
I don't think she brought it back.
She did.
How do you know that?
I have my sources.
The problem child here.
I didn't
You didn't
trespass.
do it. You just have friends of friends.
Yes.
And so you'll tell the camera.
I will.
Next, what we're going to do is turn the lights off, and we're going to walk Emily inside of there to see if she comes out alive. Just kidding. I think I might go in there tonight and actually grab some teeth for myself and see if anything haunting happens to me. Since we're at Mount Washington right now, the Tuberculosis Sanitarium, I should definitely mention the fact that we're also in the neighborhood of Shawtown. If you're from Eau Claire, you know Shawtown well, but you probably don't know it well enough to know the history and facts of what Shawtown really was. Shawtown was the working class neighborhood of the early late 1800s. This was the hustle and bustle area where the working class lived and did all their, oh my gosh, that's scary. My film crew just ran past me and scared me because I can't see anything except for this blinding light in my eyes. As you may know, Eau Claire was founded by logging and those early days of just manual labor. And many of the people here, actually it was almost all men. Shawtown was very well known as kind of the hustle bustle area of Eau Claire, and there was over 20 brothels in this neighborhood at one point in time. It wasn't necessarily legal, but it was also, there wasn't really much regulation or much of a police department back in the day. So it was almost impossible to regulate that kind of stuff. And it wasn't safe to go into those neighborhoods in the back in the day by yourself. So they were just allowed to operate. The Shawtown was known as the red light district of Eau Claire with over 20 operating brothels. And even down on Water Street, there was at least one brothel that was operating. So kind of an interesting little area. It is known as Shawtown now, named after a logger. I believe his name was Daniel Shaw. The next building we're gonna go into here is Banbury Place. Back in 1917, it was built. It was and still is, I believe, the largest building in Eau Claire. It has several million square feet of space. It was originally built by Gillette Tire Company in the early 1900s, and then later acquired by Uniroyal Goodrich Tire Company. And then in 1942, it was actually used to produce ammunition for World War II. And in the early 1990s, this place actually shut down. So it actually produced tires for a really long time, and it employed thousands of people and very, very good paying blue collar jobs, up to $50+ an hour in today's standard monies. Really unfortunate thing when this place got shut down in the 90s and ended up sitting vacant for a few years until it was acquired by a real estate developer investor, and they started building out these rental units. So now it houses hundreds of different businesses inside of the millions of square footage that this place has. This is the #1 haunted location in all of Eau Claire, and there's tons of different situations and stories of hauntings. One of the most interesting things that I find, since it's such a large building, there's a lot of parts of the building that are actually still vacant and sitting still the same way it was sitting back when it shut down in 1992, 1993 timeframe. And the equipment and the things that were being produced are just still sitting there, like somebody just stopped processing this product and just left it just how it was the day that they got fired and laid off. On the left-hand side, you can see building 16. It's called International Harvester Apartment Homes. And this was actually used as an industrial building back in the day, but it's been converted to apartments now. They're very, very cool industrial apartments. This is some loading stations over here. And this up above is the famous Wisconsin Street Banbury sign. And that is actually tunnel goes through the buildings, a couple more tunnels that connect all the intertwining buildings throughout the complex. One of the coolest things about this building, there is a ton of twisting tunnels, underground tunnels, secret little passageways. Behind me is building 13. This is the famously haunted building. And actually, it's where the most of the little businesses are. You can actually see here, this kind of breaks down all the different businesses that are in here. And I actually use the sticker spot to make a lot of our Dan Realty Group merchandise. And I've been in a lot of these, actually. One of the most haunted parts of this building is there was an electrician working one day, and he was actually electrocuted and died on the spot. And he was not found till over a week after his death actually occurred, which is pretty freaky. The legend has it is that he's haunts this place. And if you walk in here, if you make a visit to Eau Claire, I would 100% recommend coming down to Banbury Place and checking out the business. Number one, just supporting local business, but also come check this place out for yourself. This is so cool. Let's go walk inside. Come on. So this is the inside, and you guys can see that there's just a ton of different businesses inside of here. You can see Coyote Creek Creations, Artifactory. You guys can tell, like, this is a business center now, but look at the amount of just ancient history that's sitting here. I mean, look at this. This is the weight system they have to actually open and close this door system that's sitting here. There's not a single thing that's done in this building nowadays that would require such a massive steel door. Well, whatever it was being used for back in the day required this kind of industrial strength. I mean, just every single thing about this building, all the way from the doors to this is just steel, bricks, everything about the building. Let's go check it out. Come on. Sure. I don't know if I've ever been here by myself before. We're starting to get a feeling like maybe we shouldn't be here talking about the electrician. Did you see that? Okay. This is one of my favorite parts. Okay, so if you zoom way up here, right up here, there's actually a stairway that's blocked off. So let's go up there and check it out. Come on, guys. Okay, so check this out. This whole area up here and further is blocked off. I'm not really sure what's up there. It's just creepy. What the heck? We gotta get out of here. Hey, here. Okay, guys, it's confirmed that the electrician was in building 13. Well, I got some really freaky vibes in there. People have accounted for strange sounds, shadowy figures, moans, and screams from building 13 and buzzing sounds. I mean, imagine a factory in the early 1900s, in like a tire factory. They're making chemicals and all sorts of stuff. There's a lot of people who got sick and got cancer. They did get paid well, but they just got used. Back in those days, there was no sort of OSHA or safety regulations, and a lot of people died from all those chemicals that they were exposed to. There was settlements that were paid out from the companies later on. What we're gonna do is we're gonna actually walk down some of these alleyways. I'm gonna show you guys outside of the buildings. It's about 8:42 on a Monday evening right now, and we're just strolling through Banbury Place. Show you kind of what it's all about. Maybe freak you out a little bit. Smells like rubber down here. If you are a spirit, speak to me now. If you can hear me, speak to me. One interesting fact, since there's so many people that work here, there is actually a restaurant on that bridge right back there behind me. Not sure if you can see that, but that is actually a restaurant that is just extended between the two buildings. If you're a factory worker and you're just wanting a quick lunch, there's nothing wrong with that. All right, guys, that concludes my Eau Claire haunted video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If this hasn't scared you enough to stay away from Eau Claire and you're still thinking about moving here, make sure you reach out to me. I am a real estate agent in the area. I put a lot of time and energy in putting these videos together. If you happen to like and subscribe to this video or share with a couple of your friends, I wouldn't mind that. But most importantly, if you are thinking about moving to Eau Claire, make sure you hit me up. My direct cell phone number is going to be in the info on this video. In addition to that, there's also a link that'll bring you to our website if you want to reach out to us on there, or even check us out a little bit before you reach out. So hope you guys have a great rest of your day and keep watching our videos. See you later.